All right, Kenman here, and today's lightweight feeling unboxing is going to be a fun little KDK project. What did I get? What are we going to do? Let's find out. I purchased this knife at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment down below. All right, yep. I need to sharpen my pyrite. I know in the last video it was dull looking. It's been getting some use. It needs a little edge cleanup. What did we get? What are we looking at today? It is a Kershaw bag on the floor. Haven't picked up a Kershaw in a little while. Have a few in the collection. But yeah, this one was on a good sale price, and it fit the bill for something that I had just recently done in a similar way, and so I figured I'd pick this up, and it would be a good little project. Maybe use it for a giveaway, or maybe I like it. I don't know. Let's get to it and find out what Kershaw did I pick up for today. All right. Definitely one of the budget line Kershaws. This was pretty cheap, and it was like half price. So something where I think it might have been like $30 or $35 half price down to $15, $20, something like that. Good price. We'll see how the quality is. Box on the floor. All right, wow, it is definitely a lot smaller than I thought it was. That's going to be in the mini knife shootout coming up for sure. Kershaw, identifying parts, opening, closing, frame lock, subframe, liner lock, push button, talking about types, usage. Was I off camera there? I'm sitting there looking the wrong place. All right, like I said, I have several Kershaws. I haven't opened one in a while or done an unboxing for one in a while on the channel. But wow, this is super small. Holy goodness. Ha! You know, sometimes you don't pay attention to the size. And wow, mini bag on the floor. Wow, this thing is just instantly oh boy. So what are we looking at today? We have the Kershaw Ember. I guess that makes sense. The Ember, because it's tiny. It's like a little spark of a fire. Wow. It's barely... I tell you. So it has a spring assist. Oosh. The thing is heavy. All right. Let's take a look at this tiny little power pack and punch little guy here. All right. So this is the Kershaw Ember. Little budget assisted opening from Kershaw. We have an 8CR13 MOV blade steel. So, you know, not the greatest high quality of steels, but for the budget price, not bad. I've gotten some 3CRs and some pretty low quality things recently, just testing out the budget world and what it has to offer. This is barely a 3-finger. So yeah, 8CR13 MOV, and then we have a stainless steel handle. Learn how to speak, Kenman. So that's a nice little stainless piece with the frame lock on this side, so that frame kind of cuts down. The lock is down hard right there. Sometimes as a lefty, you deal with a frame lock, and what happens is you're pushing with your thumb against that lock and causing it to get pinched and not want to open the blade. In this case, where the pocket clip is right now, the pocket clip kind of is in the way of that. So I'm pushing on the pocket clip. I'm not even really touching that handle, and I can do a lefty finger flick, or I guess, or flipper tab. My apologies. Little flipper tab motion right there. So this clip can be swapped around. Usually most knives are going to be this way. So you're going to be looking at like my pyrite. So it would be tip up carry. This one, you can do a lefty tip up carry or a righty tip up carry. And then right now it's set up in lefty tip down or righty tip down. There is no option for lefty tip down. So it does have 3 of the 4 potential ways to have that clip. It's a pretty big clip. Actually, it's probably not too big, but it looks huge because this knife is so tiny. All right, we'll get that pyrite back out in a little bit. Wow, I just didn't realize it was... I can almost 2-finger grip this thing. Oh, fun times we have here on the channel. Okay, so it is assisted frame lock, 8CR13 MOV, and this stainless steel for the project, a KDK project. What project would we do with that? Comment below. I'm sure you know. So deployment is flipper tab only. You can't really get in there to Spidey flick it or anything. It's tiny and there's no real space to grab at it. It does have the assisted opening, so once you get a push on there, it's going to go. Makes it a little bit harder to close. You have to push her down, but it flips out pretty easy. The detent, I mean, it's because it's that. It gets down to about there and it pulls in, but it's pretty much going to fire out with that assisted opening every time. Interesting kind of blade shape there. So there's some jimps kind of out towards that kind of harpoon kind of section, kind of ramped up. Your thumb sits on those pretty well. That's not bad. There's also some jimps on the back here, so my ring finger can catch that, help get some grip on this for the smaller size that it is. Is that... So there's no lanyard option. Sometimes a lanyard can be nice for a smaller knife. Give you that extra kind of grip, like on a baby banter here. I grab this back here and I'm using part of that lanyard. Sorry, my brain. But yeah, no option for that with this one. I would say you're probably going to swap that clip to the other side. And then I still think the way it is, it won't really, you'll be putting your thumb on, or at me as a lefty, I'll still be putting my thumb on that clip and not really pushing against that liner on on that lock. On a frame lock, lefties, especially a cheaper one, you have more chance of that binding up the blade a little bit. All right, centering. For a cheap knife, that blade is centered right where it needs to be. It is solid with no real play, no movement to it at all. Eesh. We enjoy these fun little unboxings. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. Okay. It feels good. Index finger. I have a larger hand, but if I kind of grab on here, I can get out past that tip and kind of poke myself. So someone with a little bit more shorter, you know what I'm saying, smaller hand than my super long fingers should fit right on there. It'd be nice for doing some work, just having in the pocket. And like I said, it's so small that it just disappears in the hand really easily. Okay, let's do some credentials on this. Look at how far away it is. All right. So, the Kershaw Ember. Wow. 4 3/4. I mean, if I had looked at the actual dimensions before I bought it, I knew this was tiny, but wow. 4. This is probably one of the shortest folders. Pretty close. That concept I have is probably smaller. So 4 3/4 total. 2-inch blade. It wants to be a 2-inch blade, not quite a 2-inch blade. It has a 1 7/8 cutting surface with a little bit of a curve on the belly there, and a 2 3/4 inch handle. Just a little guy. This will definitely be in the micro shootout coming up soon. 0.1, so thin blade, and it gets thinner. Maybe out here it's down to .09. Sorry, I was off camera a bit there. So .09 rides out to there, and then .1 at the thickest spot. Handle is .33, so pretty thin handle. If you include that clip, .59, so that gives it a little more thickness to grab onto. Not bad. Definitely a small little one though. 0.82 that direction. Get out the scale. Anybody have one of these? What do we think about it? There's a few others they have. I wonder if it's like, this is the Ember. I think there's a spark or a, fire themed things. 2.17. Pyrite comparisons 3.67. 2.17. I have a CRKT, which is the inspiration. 4.1. This is a smaller knife, but it's super heavy. But look at how much. I thought these were similar in size. We'll get that comparison in a second. But I was going to say this Ember was going to be the same size as this CRKT, which weighs over 4. It's almost double the weight. All right, and then my nicer looking mini sheepdog 3.2. So the sheepdog's kind of in the middle ground. We'll look at all those in a second here. Okay, the Ember. I always compare everything with the CJRB Pyrite. It's a great EDC button lock, kind of a mid, closer to full size, but not quite. But it's a good one for a comparison. Most people will know. Based off of that, they'll have another knife that's similar in size, give you a good idea of how big this Ember is or how small it is. So this thing is huge. And my Pyrite, it's like 1.25 inches and 1.5 inches longer here, 1.25 inches on the blade, significantly larger, much larger cutting surface. It makes the Pyrite look huge. The one that kind of inspired this was my recent CRKT Pilar. I did the laser mark on this handle, just a nice clean kind of fish scale, kind of a thin line. Does everyone think about it? It's one of my recent videos. I also got this little maker mark that I put on there. Next is the CRKT. Kind of looks like a bee. Then I made the eyes kind of see that, how they kind of turn blue and kind of gold. Worked on the laser settings, kind of dial that in. Give it my own little custom KDK, because it looks like a B this way, but it's actually a K, a D, and a K. KenmanDanKenman custom. Little Pilar. Looks cool, but like I said, I thought these were the same size. Look at this. The Pilar looks huge compared to this Ember. It's a good 1/2 inch larger on both the front and the back. Cutting surface is actually kind of similar, so the Ember holds a nicer size length edge comparatively for the tiny size that it is. Wow. Who likes these small knives? I usually enjoy the bigger knives, but I've been getting into carrying multiple per day, so this would be one I might almost even consider taking the clip off. Several of the smaller ones, I'll take the clip off of it and just carry it without a clip in my 5th pocket, and it works really good. That last one, if you want to go a little bit of a step up on these smaller knives and get yourself a little button lock with some good action to it, this is the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog. Zoom out just a little bit here, but I really enjoy this one. If you want to check out the video for it up above there. Kaiser makes some cool stuff. This is a really good one as far as a smaller knife. They make bigger sheepdogs as well. I have an affiliate link down below if you want to use that, help out the channel. Much appreciated. Looking for something bigger or a little bit nicer quality for that smaller knife, check out the sheepdog. You want to get one on a good budget, something just to carry around and beat on, check out the Ember. Stay sharp. See you soon.